Hello,
Hey,
everybody. This is Don with the Vlog and Many Things, and with me is the usual suspects tonight. How you guys all doing tonight?
Usual.
Hiya,
Doing
folks.
good.
We're doing okay.
I'm not usual.
Well, you're regular.
I'm not be
Regular.
normal. What?
I'm pretty regular myself. Glenn, how
Oh.
about you?
Sort of, kind of regular.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
regular too.
The Manjaro makes me less regular than I used to be. That's all.
jeez.
When did this turn into?
Steve
You
looks
know what?
regular. Tom looks regular. We're
Yeah,
great.
Tom, I think everybody's regular tonight. Hold on a minute. I gotta adjust the chat because wait, what's going on here with chat?
You gotta put a background on it, man.
Oh shit! Okay, not everybody has the experience that Eric Tenkar has.
Everybody should.
How's that, Eric?
That looks
There we
cool.
go.
You can
Okay.
embiggen it if you want to by dragging it.
I'm trying right now. You're making me all stressed out. Okay.
I like it. I like it like that.
Okay.
What's this about dragons?
Douglas Pearson, how you doing? Camel WW1, how you doing? Chthonic Musings is here. We've got Thyatis. We got Foogly.
We got a whole lot of them. Well, I'm sure RPG Grandma will show up too.
I'm sure RPG Grandma will be here. So, gentlemen, how are we all tonight?
Bueno.
I'm no longer using my webcam speaker. I'm actually using the damn thing I had hooked up and I thought I was using all along.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I should sound better. More.
You sound sexy.
You sound great.
Thank you. I was trying to sound
great.
sexy.
Foogly, he has new internet, so you gotta lose. Don't make those bets, man. Don't make those bets.
Don't do it. He's fed his squirrels finally.
Oh yeah.
Or the
Full time?
Gerbils. That was another movie with Richard Gere. Never mind.
Well, it was that
Oh,
Friday
that's
show
right.
Tom and I did.
Oh
that
shit!
made the
That's right.
Squirrels think,
The Richard Gere hamster incidents.
Oh,
Ooh,
I don't know what's worse, being Richard Gere or being the hamster. Which one?
Even knowing about it is bad enough.
oh yeah.
Best part is him in the hot tub with Pretty Woman.
Yes, it does, Rage.
Yeah, I heard somebody about
Yahoo.
something like that working in the very
So, gaming. I have
Is that what
done
we
my research. I watched a show by Professor Dungeon Master, and I watched a show by Dungeons and Discourse, and they are claiming that D&D and WotC is over because they are going digital.
Yeah.
Now, I have
wait,
to say,
wait.
Go ahead.
On my book. Now
My
let's
book
start.
book. That's right. Now, an interesting note. What I did is I reached out to my rep at WotC about going digital.
Mhm.
He says they're not going fully digital.
Oh, they're going to be a hybrid, and that's
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong as a publisher. I see nothing wrong with also offering digital media. It's a no-brainer. Anymore when you go to any game con,
right.
what do you see at the table? Laptops.
Mhm.
Because people have digital books. They don't want to buy physical books. And one thing about a digital book is it's nice. I mean, although I'm old school, I prefer the real above me. I like my real shit. But the nice thing about digital as a publishing aspect is it's profit. And hate WotC all you want, but WotC has a group of investors and they're a business. Mm-hmm. So I don't see personally the problem with them going mostly, even if it's mostly digital.
Right. Well, I think it's going to be digital first. Now, as I'm saying that, would I be surprised if WotC went print on demand? Especially like maybe for the big products they'll do a normal print run, but for any of their back catalog, why do a new print run when you can just put stuff print on demand? Smaller companies have done that. Frog God used to do everything high-end printer from China, textbook. Now, old stock is POD.
Well, a couple of questions here real quick.
And you get a PDF with every purchase.
Hold on. Douglas Pearson says, hey, Glenn, have you started working on a sequel to Winter Fat Orc Siege yet?
No.
Okay. Thyatis has an interesting question. It says, if they're going to digital hybrid, why are so many people saying they're going digital only? Okay, I want to answer that. Thyatis, the reason why is because it gives people a point to talk about bullshit online. And they
Oh yeah.
Mm.
You know,
I'm sorry, Professor Dungeon Master. I am sorry to Dungeon Discourse, but the problem is I understand everybody has sources. I get it, but WotC's not giving up print. They sell too much stuff through stores like Barnes and Noble. They have to have a presence on the shelf.
Mhm.
You
And
know
Walmart, and
exactly, Tom. Exactly.
and I didn't see Dungeons and Discourse, but I did see Professor Dungeon Master, and he didn't say that they were completely phasing out print, but they were focused more on digital.
oh,
and
But he clickbaited. He clickbaited people.
he did.
And I'm
And-
sorry.
I'm used to that.
Dungeons and Discourse, she's all about clickbait. She is.
Yeah, but I really hate clickbait. And when he says WotC is done, that's clickbait. And
yeah.
I get it; it gets the views and everything. But
Well, and I'll give Dan credit. He'll apologize for the clickbait later.
gotcha.
I like Dan, but Dungeons and Discourse is a lot funnier.
She is.
Dungeon and Discourse. Is she Irish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irish
Okay.
chick.
Yeah. Thias says, are people just using? Yeah, they are. Because the thing is, excuse me, real quick. Valamir Cleaver says, Chris Cox. Almost everyone who plays D&D uses D&D Beyond. Yeah, right. Well, no, because Chris Cox is trying to, and I see what your point is, Valamir, but I think that Chris Cox, as the new CEO, what he's trying to do is he's trying to create a balance. At one moment he admits that they fucked up.
Well, no, that wasn't Chris. Chris is
Well-
Hasbro. He was formerly WotC.
He was WotC,
He was WotC. He's
but
now
Hasbro controls WotC.
right. And here's the thing. Let's be honest. What does Hasbro / WotC want in the end?
Money.
They want subscriptions. Okay, all these companies want
It's smart.
subscription. It's smart. Listen, I don't have to worry about sponsorship on my channel because I have 730 people, many of them gifted, many of them stepping up with their own money, supporting me through membership.
Yes.
A recurring fee. So I don't have to be the guys hawking. I don't know. Oh, it's not Rode. This, by the way, but a Rode microphone or any of the other things. I guess
You sound, by the way, Eric, not trying to interrupt you, but you do sound a little bit more clear with that microphone closer to you.
I could talk like this. Hey, this is going to be just like the old time radio shows when they started
not
doing
that
the
not that close, but just yeah.
I could,
It's a lot.
I should probably figure out how to like use this microphone.
Can barely hear you now.
What? You can
Can
hear me?
barely hear you.
Hold on. Oh my god. All right, it's got.
Don't break it.
Or
No,
Eric. Meanwhile, while Eric,
How's this
nope,
sound?
it's bad. It's really low. So while Eric unfucks his microphone, Douglas Pearson says, Don, they were talking about digital in terms of making it so that you couldn't really play the current version without a subscription. It's not just about POD. But the thing is, Douglas, is you bring it up, and that's actually a really good point. Because, I'll give you an example. Corel and Adobe used to be you had to buy the CDs.
Right.
Now the nice thing
Right.
is when I bought my Corel and Adobe CDs, if I didn't want to upgrade to the new version, I could just keep I had my CDs. Now Corel has joined Adobe, which by the way, 5 years ago they swore they'd never do. But Corel now you have to either subscribe monthly or buy it outright.
Yeah.
Outright is $500. To subscribe
Oh, well.
for 1 year is $199. Adobe is $25 a month for InDesign, $18.99 a month for a Photoshop. It forces publishers like me, we have to do Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. I don't use their fireworks to do web design. So the nice thing about digital subscriptions, whether you hate it or not, as a consumer, I hate it. As a businessman, I'm like, that's pretty freaking smart.
Oh,
to do.
definitely. Oh, but by the way, how do I sound now?
You sound
sound
so
great.
sexy. You sound sexy, warm.
I sound good. I sound good, sexy.
Hold on. Steve knows his voice. Steve, Gay Don's coming out. Look at him shake his head. Steve, how you doing, Steve? It's Gay Don. I irritate Steve all the time. Do it for 20 years. Haven't I, Steve?
Don't worry, I worked retail for 8.5. Believe me.
Val McClure says that was Danny Ube with the media culpa or Maya culpa. Yes, but the thing is, I have to give Dan Ube one thing. This guy walked into a bad situation.
Yep.
The OGL scandal, 5E, 5.5, and the topic of tonight's show is OSR the new basically thing? And I can tell you, and Eric knows this, that I believe that WotC, although they are coming out probably with the 6E, WotC does know that OSR has a massive following. And that Wizards of the Coast is paying attention to that.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me, Eric?
Oh, I would definitely say that. And I've got that from multiple sources. And I mean, listen, go back to the beginning of 5e and the play testing of 5e. What did they play test it with? Keep on the Borderlands.
Boom.
What were they trying to get in the initial 5e feel was a bit of that old school feel. They went away from it as it progressed.
Boom. Yep.
But if you go back, you can still find them online. The 5e basic rules. You can almost run an OSR game with the basic rules. All right, but it got distorted. It got corrupted. I'll say that it got corrupted as it went on. As a lot of things do. So I think that the next edition will be an attempt to bring it closer to its roots.
Exactly.
While at the same time not alienating all the 5e players.
That's right.
Yep.
It's going to be a hard one.
RPG Grandma says, yeah, they want control. RPG Grandma, and I'm not trying to be a WotC mouthpiece here, but of course they want control. It's their IP. They subscription, and we're looking at this at Wizard Tower Games. The new website's getting ready to go live, and we're offering publishing services. We really looked at the core as a publisher. Where is publishing today? Publishing today is not with our print shop creating books for people. That's more POD for existing publishers. For authors, it's more of a, we can control your IP, or we don't have to control your IP. We prefer not to. We're trying to push away from that. But Wizards of the Coast has such a huge IP with D&D. They have to control it.
Yeah.
And digital is where it's at nowadays. It's like AI. I hate to say it, but whether you like AI or not, it's here to stay. Ken Whitman, and Ken, if you're watching this, which you probably are, I think you're going to have people like Ken Whitman who abuse AI, and that's my personal opinion. By the way, for the sake of the religious or
Lawsuit.
Show me on
Yeah,
the AI
fuck
where
him.
the bad man touched
Yeah,
you.
fuck-
Show me on
fuck
the
him.
AI. Show me.
quote me. But the thing is AI is here to stay, but it depends how you use it.
Yeah.
Do you use it to make content and say, I made that? Or do you use it to make, like Eric does, a flash screen? Or Tom? Tom's been developing a really cool AI-assisted DM system. Tom's not claiming he coded it and made it. Tom admits that Tom is using AI.
Yeah. Well,
And that's the whole point. That's ethical use of AI.
Well, I mean, AI was telling me that it could act like a research assistant and pull stuff out of a bunch of documents if I provided the documents. And so I took it up on the offer, and ChatGPT lied and Gemini lied. So finally I got so fed up with it. I asked Gemini, I said, which AI is the best to do this? And then it told me. And I was like, oh, okay.
What was it, Claude?
No, it was Google Notebook, LM.
Oh, because Google Notebook LM is essentially Gemini with
Yes.
within Rails. It
Yes.
only works from within.
Now.
Yeah, Google is Gemini flat up, but Gemini has off branches. And I think,
Yeah,
if I'm right, Tom, Gemini will actually pull from what you're using.
Well, I noticed right away that all of my notebooks I created in Notebook were in Gemini.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was able to say to it, I says, can you use the Notebook and run that adventure? Because I put playing Crash on Volturnus as one notebook. I just put the rules and the adventure
Well,
in there.
Gemini uses Notebook if you like you're doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Gemini uses Notebook as a database.
Well, the problem is that Notebook is locked down, and so I've now had Gemini run a one phase of the Crash on Volturnus adventure. Well, actually two, and then I had Notebook run one, and Notebook was a brutally impartial game master.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like TPK in like 7 back and forth between me and the AI, and it was a TPK, and I was like, holy crap, that was refreshing. Because it was like, you go to Gemini and Gemini wants to keep you engaged. It wants to, it's a sycophant. It wants to,
You have to give you ground rules. And the thing with Gemini is that, like, if I'm working on stuff and I'm working on a script, all right, I have my BX rules already uploaded into a gem, and everything. If I'm doing stuff on that's gonna be based on BX, I work always in that same gem, so I can pull information out, and it has a memory. So I can say, "Hey, I have this idea. Have I done this before? Or how close am I to something I've done before?" It'll keep it. But if I just did it on a random chat, a new chat, not in the gem, doesn't have that memory, and the memory is necessary if you're going to be doing projects.
yeah.
Well, RPG Grandma made a comment, says the game to maximize profit. She's talking about WotC.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, I get your point, RPG Grandma, but of course they are. We got a ton of comments I got to get through here.
Well,
Douglas,
they're a corporation. It's all about.
yeah, I mean it is.
Yeah.
But I think they have the right guy at the helm now to also, although he's trying to make a balance between, I got to make the shareholders and corporate guys happy, but I got to make my gamers happy. Douglas Pearson says, but the kids will want the latest and greatest because no one wants to be left out. The new generation will push the line towards subscription of, 2 of 2. I honestly do not see the problem with that, because as a BX moving into BECME, moving into ADD player, how many here think second edition is a great game? I remember when second edition came out and all my friends were like, oh, that's utter shit. Oh God, they changed the game too much.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I like it.
My younger brother likes it, but he was 10 years younger than me, and so he learned with BX and he learned with AD&D. But when he was actually starting to engage with spending his money to buy books, it was second edition.
Yeah.
And so when he went to Iraq and they were playing D&D in Iraq, it was second edition because he just had all this.
Really? We played AD&D.
What's that?
We played AD&D. First edition.
No, well, I played AD&D first edition and BX with my brother, and so. But when he got old enough to spend his own money, he was buying.
He was a 2E guy.
Yeah, he was buying second edition.
Well,
What were you going to say, real quick?
Well, with my group, who, by the way, I'm hanging out with my old gaming group on Saturday for once a year gathering. It was 1E until 2E came out, and when 2E came out, it was a mishmash of 1E and 2E for a while, and then it was 2E because that was what was current.
That's what the best thing about 2E is. You can really kit bash it with 1E.
Yes,
can.
but the thing is, as a BX into BECME into AD&D player, when second edition came out, I was like,
It jumped
and
the
my
shark.
friends were like, utter shit. We don't want to play that game. And that's the problem, is that it's that mentality that you get. you like what you're used to. You know, RPG Grandma says the basics of 5e works fine, and it does. The basics do.
Yes.
Fugly says I'm running OS X 10.13 in order to keep my software working. I've got an old system with 10.6 in case I have to get something out of AppleWorks. Oh God, you're an Apple lover.
Hey,
we gotta work on you.
whoa, yo.
There
Don't say
are
that
those
on
you,
Eric.
there are those you who are morally corrupted, and then there's the Windows purists, right? Right, Steve? Right.
I
My
moved my
first-
family to Apple, the Apple environment, so I wouldn't have to do tech support. And
I
my
have-
God, it has succeeded.
I have all Windows, but my first computer was a Mac Plus.
Gosh,
I got out of Apple because they priced me out.
Sinners,
If you know what I
sinners
mean.
you all. I'm going to pray for every one of you. Poor Archild says we cannot control the bowels of the dungeon. RPG Grandma says I'm not slamming them for wanting to control their IP or making profit. Oh, I know you're not, but that's the whole point. You know, Wizard of the Coast is and I really give Dan Ayub a lot of credit because for him to come out as vocal as he has so far is a big thing. And I don't think people give him enough credit because to say the things publicly that he has said, or even privately that people have said, you know, that he has let out in private conversations, that's huge. And I can tell you right now, all I can say is this: pay attention to Gen Con, guys. It's going to blow your fucking mind what WotC has planned.
Well, and I'm going to say this: WotC actually has plans for Gen Con. Years. Part of the
Yeah, they
decade,
do. You're right about that.
but for well over a decade, Gen Con was like an afterthought. Now
Nope, not now.
they're like, holy shit! If we are going to remain a leader, you got to lead from the front, and you got to lead by talking to people, and you got to lead by knowing what your customers are. Even if you want to, here I'll say it: fleece them for the most money you can.
Well, that's what business. I hate to use the word
Business does.
fleece, but
But to do that effectively, you have to understand your customer, and that is not listening to like your own sycophants. That's going out there and meeting your own customer. And I think Dan is getting his staff to do it. So
and I hate to say
Good.
something here, but I'm gonna make a. I'm gonna say a truth here that's gonna piss a lot of people off.
uh-oh.
All right, the average age of the individual that's on screen here is 55. That's the
You did
average
math?
age. I did math actually. Actually, I did math earlier today on it because I'm glad this was brought up. The average age of the individual on this screen is 57.5 years old.
Wow.
Okay. Now, as much as we old 57.5-year-old fuckers want to sit there and claim BX, BECME, and 1E are old, outdated systems. And the majority, and I'm sorry, RPG Pundit, on your latest video to piss you off, but whether you like it or not, there's a generation of gamers that are growing up that are sub 30 that love 5e.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
and as a publisher, I hate to say this, but I think pretty soon you're going to see some OSR type content, right, Eric? That
Coming,
is going to have a 5e feel to it. That's
Yeah.
about as much as I'm going to say.
or it's going to have a 5Es. It's going to be It's going to be OSR like content
With a
in
5e
its
spin.
presentation and in its implementation, but the rule system is going to be pretty much 5e. By the
Yeah.
way,
We
to put
already
that in
have that. It's
perspective,
called Shadow Dark.
No, you
Um,
don't have that. Not like this. Not like
I
this.
want to be 57.5 again. Thank you, Don.
No, yeah. My analytics, my largest audience is 45 to 54, 32%. And my next largest is 55 to 64 at nearly 23%. So yes.
Well, RPG Grandma says, I just know they have to find a positive way to interact with fans of the game. That's where they have failed miserably. You are 100% correct, but I think with Dan Ayub, they
Yep.
go, what's that, Eric? Is that a fucking guy with a horn on his ass?
Yes, my dice bag. Look at that. Look at that.
Nice. You see,
That's a bard
you
picture,
see,
right?
this is my dice bag, guys. My wife custom made it. It's a Donkey Kong dice bag
Very nice.
I should give
With-
that one. I
with-
should give
with
that dice
D-
bag away.
with D20 lanyards.
Okay, that's cool. See, now this is the dice bag that's going to go with me to conventions. This is the one that's going to have.
By the way, Eric,
Careful,
I
guys.
need to at CNYK. I need to grab one of those. See, Tom's old school. He has the Crown Royal bag, and it's the green one to boot. So,
I also have an EverQuest 2 dice bag.
fucker.
And some official D&D dice bags.
Oh, geez, Tom has 3 dice bags. You know, I have one. It's the one my wife made. It is a Donkey Kong dice bag, custom made with D20 little,
I'd like to know
little
what
tassels.
I'd like to know what happened to my Beholder dice bag.
That's your wife made that, Don.
Yes, my wife did. In fact,
Oh,
as a matter of
nice.
fact, I'm going to advertise for my wife. At CNYK, there's going to be dice bags, D20 delving.
Woohoo!
Along with that, there's going to be Whimsy-born bears, dragons, and dogs. There's going to be lots of OSR new games because we've been quiet about a lot. We've been actually very, very quiet about a lot. We're not wanting to premiere anything until our site goes live. And I'm actually timing my site to go live the weekend of CNYK. Roger Rebez, if you're in chat, we're making our site live.
It almost sounds like you're going through your monthly menstruation.
It is like a monthly menstruation.
All right, I'm just.
But there's
I'm
no
just saying
blood
that.
involved.
I'm just saying that.
You know, the thing is, Chris Unger says, I love Star Frontiers, but bought the new game in spirit of a sci-fi called Frontier Space. I'm actually aware of Frontier Space. It's actually kind of like a huge Star Frontiers knockoff.
Frontier Space was made by 2 people who were leading the Star Frontiers revival about 20 years ago.
Mhm.
And I got to review it. I was working with one of them was the editor of the Star Frontiersman. And so I reviewed it and I gave him some feedback and he completely ignored all my feedback. So,
You know what? Fuck them. That's what the attitude you get. You just move on.
I don't think that Bill or Larry are actually producing new Frontier Space content, but there are other creators creating new Frontier Space content on their license.
What's really interesting is, and I'm going to address Matthias's question in a minute. Me and Scott Mulder for 2 years have been working on a new sci-fi RPG. And I'll tell you something about Scott Mulder. Scott, and Tom probably knows this because Tom deals with Scott on a PM basis. Scott Mulder is a passionate sci-fi RPG lover.
Yeah.
And, what he has done for the game Interstellar is, I should just title it authored by Scott Mulder. But any rate, back to topic. Thais says, you guys are describing proper use of AI. Exactly. There is ethical use of AI, which Eric does and Tom does. And then you have unethical. And I'm sorry, Ken Whitman, I know it's going to upset you, but I think that you use it unethically. Because, the thing is I think that the ethical way of using AI is to just say, hey, listen, I use AI for A, B, and C, like Eric does. Eric uses AI for A, B, and C. Tom is open. I use AI for A, B, and C. Whitman, my personal opinion only, goes ahead and uses AI, but he doesn't inform his readers, like on 4 pillars, that it is AI. So he, although by action does not say, I wrote it, by inaction, he infers he wrote it. And that's my difference. Steve, let me ask you a question. You're on here. Me and Steve have been friends for 18 years now?
Close to 20.
Yeah, close to 20. And Steve has worked for me when I had my publishing company, and Steve is working for me now through my new publishing company. I have done every single one of Steve's book covers and layouts. And I have even had the pleasure of having Steve's cat Hemi, who is crying in the background, spill hot coffee on my ball sack. It was pleasant, trust me. Remember that, Steve, that day? The coffee spiller. But
Yeah,
Steve,
your voice went up.
let me ask you a question, Steve. Do you use AI in any of your writing?
Not in the creative sense. I use it more just like what's the like a really intelligent Grammarly.
Yes. And you also have sent me AI assisted imagery saying, Don, I want you to do a book cover for me.
Here's an
This
example of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yes, this is what I like. This is my idea. So I can then go into Photoshop and do it correctly.
Mhm.
So Steve uses AI as a tool for inspiration.
Mhm. It's
That's
also good for, it's also good for bouncing ideas off of if you ever get stuck, because it'll, it doesn't replace the creative process, but it does kind of kickstart it when it stalls out.
exactly. But the thing is, you don't use AI to write your books.
Right.
Correct.
And that's the same thing with Below Me Tom. Tom does not use AI in the sense that he says, oh, look, I created this new DM program. Tom is open and says, I am using AI. Look what I'm doing. Look how I did it, A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Eric,
I was just playing. I was just having
Yeah.
a solo game with AI and letting it be the game master.
exactly. But
Perfect.
the point is you're open about it.
Yeah.
And Eric is open about it in the
I'm-
fact that Eric uses it for
I
things
use
like
it for thumbnails. I'll often use it to revise scripts because the algorithm is a horrible biatch.
Yep.
So I might not have the best opening or the best retention, but and the funny thing is, I won't run it through a single AI. I will run it through Gemini and then I'll run it through Claude, because neither one is perfect, but they'll find different things and they'll tell you, you got to revise this spot. This isn't hitting, or you repeat the same word 7 times in like,
But the thing is,
paragraphs.
Eric, you're open about it.
yeah,
You
But-
ethically, this is the point about AI. The three gentlemen to my right, bottom, and bottom right, because I know Glenn doesn't use AI. You guys utilize AI and you are very open about it.
but for
And-
us, it's a lever. It's a pulley. It allows us to get more of the actual creativity done, as it does some of that grunt work for you.
But
I mean-
but the point is, the ethical basis of it is you're open about it.
Yes.
You don't say, "Look what I drew my thumbnail." Tom doesn't say, "Look what I coded." Steve does not bypass me. I do all Steve's book covers. Steve does not bypass me, even though some of this AI is really, really cool what he presents me.
Mhm.
He doesn't say, "Look what I drew."
By the way, I want to address Valimir. Yes, Valimir. So I have a second camera, okay, and it's an eye contact camera. So,
That's cool, Huawei.
so here's the thing with my videos. I used to do like the new stuff was generally pretty much just run it. But I find that I use a lot of filler words if I'm trying to deal with a topic, or I repeat myself if I don't have a script. So I need a script, or at the very least, I need a very detailed outline that I can riff off of, or else I repeat myself. I go off, and I go off on tangents anyway, even with the script.
No, you
But
Really?
besides the point, if I didn't have a script, it would be full of and honestly, those still slip in even with the script, and I didn't realize they were
will.
until I started pulling my transcripts. And I pulled my transcripts, and I'm like, oh, well, gee, I'm still using filler words even when I'm working off a script that I have written.
Well,
See, that's why I need a script, or else I'm going to be really bad New Yorker accent shite,
Well, the thing is, RPG Irma says I could be wrong, but I think it must be in their minds in the WotC think tank on how to get from tabletop to full video. RPG Grandma, I love you to death and I respect you, but actually, why would they want to do that? Because role playing games involves people. People involve buying product. Why would they want to bypass the human element? And that's my whole point about what I've been told about subscription based RPG. Why are they not going full subscription, full digital?
Right.
Because there's a large element out there that still want physical product.
Yep.
So Douglas Pearson asks a really good question. He says, Don, I don't see the problem with subscriptions. Apple Music Streaming sold us the Brooklyn Bridge of renting the music, not owning it. Physical recordings rule. Try taking that away from me. I agree with you. I'm upset at Corel as an example. I utilize Corel as I utilize Corel more than I do Adobe. And I've always said that I can do things in Corel that people in Adobe cannot do, and people in Adobe laugh at me about that. But the thing is, as much as I do not like the fact that Corel broke their promise of 5 years ago saying we'll never go digital subscription, what they're doing is they're offering either subscription or purchase. And I know why they're doing subscription, because a lot of people don't have $500 to buy the program, but they've got $19.99 a month or $34.99 a month if you want to buy it monthly to go ahead and utilize the program. So, as a businessman, I get it. As a consumer, I don't like it. So I'm kind of like, I'm kind of both. I'm a business on one side, and I go, that's pretty smart. But on the other side of the fence, which I'm straddling, as a consumer, I go, that's really shitty. I don't like it.
Well, let's be honest. We're paying subscription for the use of Restream, right?
Yes, we do.
Right?
Exactly.
It's a tool. I get enough use out of it that it's worth the investment for me.
Mhm.
I actually use vidIQ, so I can evaluate my channel, what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. I put reports together for myself and for other YouTubers.
Real quick, you can do video chats with people.
Yeah, on this, yeah.
Wow.
So Restream is great, but I mean, I probably have, in regards to my channel alone, probably close to $100 worth of subscriptions, and I'm not batting an eye because they're all valuable. Now, the question becomes: is a subscription to D&D Beyond valuable to you?
See, that's the whole point here.
If you don't play online, it loses a lot of value.
Exactly.
If you don't play with devices at the table, it loses the rest of the value, and that's fine. And I think WotC understands that too. They understand
They do.
they're
They
not
do.
going to convert. Unlike Cynthia Williams, who thought they could convert everybody to a subscriber.
Cynthia Williams. Oh God, I can say a few words about.
But here's the thing. They understand that probably at best they'll convert 50%. The reality is, for many people, most people, listen, I'd rather have an in-person group, but you know what? Hey, I'm adulting. I'm 58, going to be 59. Who wants to drive and drink? So sometimes I like to drink when I play. VTTs work for me. If I play in-person gaming, it's going to be at conventions. That's fine. But that I am not the average gamer. Anybody you see on screen right now is more wired in than the average gamer. Anybody in chat is more wired in than the average gamer.
Agreed. 100%.
We forget that. We somehow think that we're the average gamer. We're not. We're not the average.
We're not the average gamer. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But the thing is, I think the thing is, the average gamer is a 5e player. I really believe that, because what people I think our age misunderstand is there's a younger generation out there.
Yep.
And that younger generation is not interested in OSR. They're interested in 5e. But I think Wizards of the Coast sees this and says, we have to feed the modern player, which is smart. But we also have now a large population of OSR players, and we need to go ahead and feed them. And there is a way to do it. And I'll convert to Eric again. Eric knows this, that I think WotC is indeed going to go ahead and feed that OSR player.
It's an untapped for them. It's an untapped oil well that they need to. I want to address Starblazer.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Do you guys realize Bold Wizard Don? Well, gee, there's more than one bolding person on the screen, but I'll assume that is shivving you guys here on AI and throwing you under the bus. Nice friend. We all have friends like Don. Apparently, Starblazer, you haven't read any of the descriptions of my videos. Because right in my videos, I say that the production is AI assisted. It's right there. I don't hide it. AI is part of the process that I do because it allows me to leverage my time. Because if you want, I don't know, 4 or 5 videos a week, it takes time. But if I can get the thumbnails done, that's great. Oh, who did we lose? We lost Glenn. Glenn's playing the role of Tom today. So I just wanted to address that because,
I do not see Glenn. Hold on. I don't see Glenn in the thing.
Yeah. And so, Starblazer, I don't know who you are, but I know people like you. And
well, I'm going to answer Starblazer since I'm the topic of the bald guy.
Oh, okay.
Starblazer says, "Do you guys realize Bald Wizard Don is shivving you guys right here on AI and throwing you under the bus? Nice friend. We all have friends like Don." Starblazer 21.99. I'm going to make you an offer right here in front of everybody. I'll make you a deal. You PM me personally. I am Don Samora on Facebook, and you can come online next week and you can defend this comment to me. Because I'm going to make a statement to you right now here in front of everybody. I'm not shivving anybody here about AI. You may not like AI. I'm not a fan of AI either. Okay? I admit that. Glenn, welcome back.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm not shivving anybody. The problem with Starblazer 21.99 is that, frankly, and I'm going to say something kind of maybe you might take insulting, but the thing is that you are one of those people who are just so entrenched in OSR that you are blind to facts. The fact of the matter is AI is here to stay.
Yep.
Of the 5 people you have on the screen right now, 2 of them use AI on a regular basis for the content. So why the fuck are you attacking me? The thing is
if this comment feels like he's going way out of his way just to
yes,
He's stirring
He's just
shit.
yanking your chain.
no, but the point is the thing is I like to offer these people a chance. And again, Starblazer, message me privately. Let's have you come on next week and let's discuss AI and how I'm shivving people. Because the thing is that I am not a fan of AI. I openly say that all the time.
I got $1 says he doesn't come on.
I have $100 that says he doesn't come on. But the point being but the point being is that the idea of me shivving a couple of creators on here who utilize AI, I don't knock Eric or Tom for using it. In fact, I'll put this like this. Tom shares a lot of his videos privately, don't you, first?
Yeah.
Me and Eric are one of the first 2 people who liked the video.
Well, if I use AI as a research assistant, it's not creating content for me. I'll copy and paste a magazine article, and I go, would you this magazine article is 4 pages long, but I need it to be 3 paragraphs. Can you, summarize it down? Because it's a magazine article about a creature, and I need it monster manual size, not 4 pages of copy for people to read. And and it does a good job. And I'm like, and preserve the art, the original author's voice if you can. And I ask, So yeah, that just becomes an editorial tool. It's just chopping down 4 pages that I don't want to spend 4 hours chopping that down
It
myself.
leverages your time. That's how I look at it. It's a lever. It allows you to accomplish more in less time. But if you're using it to accomplish everything, as certain people do, possibly even Star Blazer hemorrhoid person over there, but um, when somebody like that, there are people out there who put up websites that are just full of AI generated material where their whole work was putting a prompt. God bless you, man. If you can monetize that, more power to you.
But the thing is, I'll make a good point here. Okay, Star Blazer, $21.99. He's allowed to come in here and make his point. I'll put it up again. I respect your point, even though it's anti-Don. But the thing is, your point is moot because what you're inferring that I am somehow backstabbing or backdooring Tom and Eric who use AI. And I think I've been very clear and supportive of Eric and Tom using AI. And the thing is the reason why I offer you to come on the show is because when you make such a bold claim and you're not following up with any other content, what you've done, Ken or Justin, my opinion only.
Oh yeah,
You've come in here and what you've done is you've strafed. Like an old Soviet World War II biplane. You strafed the German trenches. And what you're doing here is you're not following up with anything substantial.
They're just trolling. They're just trolling.
Yes, it's a troll, obviously. But again, I'm going to offer it like I offer every asshole, or troll. Excuse me. If you want to come on next week's show and defend your comment, I'm happy to sit here and I'll listen to you talk 100%, and then I'll just respond. But you're not saying nothing else because I think you're a naughty boy. Bad boy.
I'd like to address Fugly's comment here, where he says, I look at AI as the idiot intern. And that's really true when you're dealing with a generative AI like Gemini or ChatGPT. But honestly, I think you should check out that Google Notebook LM. That was so refreshing to me.
Do you know what I think one of you two need to do? Either you or Eric need to do kind of like a video about comparing types of AI. Because we all hear things like Gemini and Claude and ChatGPT, but no OSR creator, and I'm talking about OSR creator, has done a video going, let me talk to you about the different ones. But Chris Lundgren says, at times it's easy to yell at clouds, it's grognard and ignore the younger kids in a hobby. But once you get excited for OSR and OSR, it's a blast. It is. It really is. Halfling Torchbearer, how you doing? Get some comments done here real quick, guys. Fugly says, I look at AI as the idiot intern. I mean, you can, I guess, but it's you gotta know what you're dealing with. Chris Lundgren says, I hate how
times.
Yep. Chris, thanks for the defense. He says, I hate Don's been fairly treated by assholes in the hobby to get to know him as a person first before you throw rocks into his house. Now I'm an asshole. I admit it.
Wait, you're an asshole? I thought I was the asshole.
I've used AI before, but I've been only using AI as a GM. I mean,
true. Halfling Torchbearer says, oh Lord, what did I walk into? The vlog of many things.
What do you think? You were going to be calm with you?
Glenn, go ahead. Sorry for
what I'm saying is I like to use them for like a nugget idea of something.
Yes, like inspiration.
That's it. I see it as an idea, bouncing it off of it.
Because even if AI uses other people's ideas, it would be like me coming in here going, Steve, Tom, Eric, and Glenn, what do you think about this idea? And all of you giving me input, and I go, I like Glenn's idea the best. I'm going to put that in the game. Or I like Tom's idea, or Steve's, or Eric's.
Rob Conley always refers to AI as the best random table you're going to find because
Yes.
its options are endless. But AI, garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
If you put enough
Four pillars.
information
Four pillars. Four
and
pillars.
enough rails on it, you're going to get less garbage.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you will. I mean, I will say, like when I'm running the reports with using Claude and vidIQ to evaluate channels and videos and
Yeah.
trends and all that stuff, it's amazing. But then I run it through Gemini and say, how accurate is this? Because when it comes to YouTube, Gemini is Google. YouTube is
Gemini
Google.
is Google 100%.
So it has some insights that others don't have.
Yeah.
You can use AI to fact check AI, but not use a different service.
By the way, real quick, guys, for those of you watching this channel, please hit a like and subscribe real quick if you can
Yes.
support the channel.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom. Sorry about
One
that.
of the really great uses for AI is I was working on a system brief for Star Frontiers, and so I said to it, I said, this planet, because the system's very vague, this planet's got a high population density. It's a heavy population. What numbers, and by implication, it has one of those mega cities. I says, what numbers of population would be appropriate? And so it pulled a bunch of stuff out, and it came up with a number of 500 million. And I said, all right, I like this planet to have an 800-year history. How do we get there? He says, well, you get there, with the 40,000 original colonists that you specified, and a growth rate less than Earth at its highest growth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so it did all that math, and it pulled these formulas together. I've taken fan created system briefs where they put, this planet here, and I says, here's this system brief by this fan. Are there any scientific problems with it? And it goes, well, you couldn't have these two planets this close. And so it critiques stuff like that on the scientific end.
But you're using the same ecosystem. It's okay.
I don't have that science background.
Right.
So.
Yes, but you're using the existing AI ecosystem. And this is a term that people who do 3D printing understand. There's a lot of people like me. I like the ecosystem, and what ecosystem means in that is I use Elegoo printers. Okay, ecosystem, the same brand. You utilize Gemini because you're utilizing Gemini. You're using the Google ecosystem, and I think that you get a more superior result when you stick with with a certain ecosystem. It's like if I use my Elegoo 3D printers and I throw in a Creality printer, it upsets because Creality operates differently a little bit than Elegoo. So by using Gemini and Google's ecosystem, like you use your notes and everything with it, is you are getting a superior result. RPG Grandma says younger DMs like digital tools that create databases of info, and no doubt AI will be helpful for them. I do talk to younger adult DMs in the course of my days doing TT project. Exactly. And yes, Chris Lundgren, I try to be a nice asshole. Sometimes I'm not. RPG Grandma says most are shocked I am books and paper. So am I, but I think that's a generational product. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, there's, my book, the power never goes out on this.
Yes.
Book.
The power no, and I, if the power's out, I can still read a book.
Exactly.
And
Not the dark.
you can't. I can light a fire, but you can't take my books away from me.
Exactly. And not only that, but if you don't pay your subscription, your books don't go away.
Yeah.
I have a ton.
Amazon people are finding out.
I have a ton of PDFs I've uploaded to Google Drive, and someday when I'm dead and that subscription's no longer paid, all that stuff goes away. But I'm kind of okay with that. But it's there. But the stuff I really value, it's hardcover.
Oh, I value. I have my BX, my BECME, and I have my AD&D. I value that, but also I do have one Player's Handbook, Dungeon Master Guide, and 2 Monster Manuals for 5e.
Mhm.
I don't buy all the ancillary 5e shit. Why? Because if I want to create, I have my own world. I have my own wiki.
Yeah.
I have a full line wiki online, has 4,000 pages in it. I can create my own worlds. But Chris Lundgren says, I use AI as a tool, but not for creating an entire adventure. But when you feed it an idea with a lot of details and tell it what you want, it can come up with ideas you never thought of. Exactly, because AI is a community type thing, like it or not.
One thing I was worried about, Becky knows more about this than I. She used Chat GPT all the time. And I said, it'd be nice if I can come up with a sequel to my book and put it on AI and just give me like one paragraph of some ideas that I can flesh out. She said, well, you're going to have to upload your book for it to read. And I said, I don't want to do that. Then it goes out on the internet and people steal it. So,
Well, when you upload your content to things like ChatGPT or Claude or whatnot, part of their agreement is that you agree that you're voluntarily allowing them to utilize your IP and content.
Right, to train their.
yeah,
Yes.
because they wouldn't get anything if they didn't know my story,
right.
the characters and stuff.
Real quick, Eric has to go. Eric,
Want to go?
sir,
All
have
right.
a good night.
Going
Go
to the speaking board.
Hope to see you tomorrow night.
Eric, have a good night.
Oh, you're doing the other thing. Never mind.
The other thing, I love it. Yeah, he's doing the other thing. All right, I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, you're gonna be here to do the show with me. It's, yeah, but I'm
I'm
watching
gonna be in
this
the
other
fucking
thing.
comments getting banned from that fucking live stream in about 5 minutes. No, I'm already banned by fucking the putz. That's right. I keep forgetting. He likes to run his mouth behind my back and then he acts like a fucking pussy and sit there and hide from me. Just my opinion. Douglas Pearson says, I don't mind EPUBs. And by the way, I'm talking about Ron from Page. Happy to say that. I don't mind EPUBs or PDFs as long as I can store them on my own hard drive. And again, everybody is different, but I'll be honest with you. I have downloaded digital books before, but everything I download, everything I download gets printed and I put it in a 3-ring binder. Everything.
Wow.
I don't go. There's just something about it. I mean, I guess it's growing up. I opened the book, I turned the page, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, the smell. What what? Tom brings up a good point. When you walk into a Barnes and Noble, I love the smell of the store because of the books. It's got that.
Even better, a used bookstore.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, used
I
bookstore
love a
has
used
that kind
bookstore, baby.
man.
Even if you walk into like half price books.
Yeah, it's like this
local.
mix of. I hate to say it like this, but it's musty, but it's pagey. It's
The smell
inky.
of paper, man.
I'll tell you what. Come to the print shop. Come to the print shop.
You know what's so weird?
I've
It's,
never done cocaine, but I've done old books.
you know what's so weird? In old game stores, like old game
Yes.
stores from the city, and you get in there and you see these walls of miniatures
Yes.
in there, and you can get that same smell of
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is a game store, man, because you got all the books over here, you got all this wall of minis. It's just
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, bookstores just, it's like, I'm going to be honest with you. I walk in my local Barnes & Noble, and first thing I do when I walk in, I say, I literally go, it's just smelling it, and such. But
French
and
printing, French printed stuff.
The only thing better than that smell of walking into a bookstore is walking into a place where they are cooking lobster.
no coffee. That's why a lot of Barnes & Nobles because they got a Starbucks in there.
Oh, we used to have a coffee roaster that was just a block away from the hobby bunker. And so you'd get out of your car to go into the hobby bunker to war game, and you'd be smelling coffee being roasted. That was pretty good too.
Yep. But Chris Lundgren says, if you ever come to California, Book Off used bookstore chain is awesome. I found hardbound Osric
Book
books
Off.
there for Easy
heard of it.
D6, for example.
Do they sell DVDs?
But guys, it is 9 p.m.
Yes, it is.
and it is Thursday.
It is Thursday.
So we should be scooting along now. But the thing is, I appreciate everybody for coming on live tonight. I appreciate all of the commenters. We will be back tomorrow night. Myself, Glenn, and God knows who else.
Whoever we wrangle.
Whoever we con into shaving their head bald and coming on live with us.
And some
And,
don't have
and I
to shave it.
promise I will bring my shivs, okay?
Your digital shiv.
My digital shivs.
Remember, it's a digital shiv.
Oh, boy.
Douglas Pearson has the last comment for the night. He goes, Don, I like to buy both my physical copy and PDF at the same time. Sometimes the physical item is more useful. Sometimes a PDF. And that's exactly it. The point that I agree with Douglas Pearson on is this, as he makes a very good point. If you want to go digital, go ahead. Yeah, do both. There's nothing wrong with it. Because keep in mind, when I print this book from my PDF, I still have my PDF.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the nice thing about PDF.
Well, sometimes in doing a video for YouTube, you want to screenshot a page from the book. That's easier with a PDF than taking a photograph.
Exactly. Especially if they code the PDF right where you click on the chapter section. So if I want to go to monsters.
Yeah. When I used to do my game reviews, I'd always get the ones with the PDF so I can put pages up. This is what this looks like. This is what this looks like.
Yeah.
So much easier.
Yep. So, gentlemen, we should go.
I guess.
Adios.
Steve,
See you, folks.
Glenn, thank you for coming on. Everybody in chat, thank you very much. It's been nice. Please like and subscribe to the channel that you're watching right now. You're really going to help us out by just hitting that subscribe button. Also, we will be back tomorrow night with more meaningful content. And we will also be back next Tuesday for our lunch chat and next Thursday. Next Thursday, we are having Polly Kidd on. Polly Kidd is going to be talking about gay and transgender issues in gaming, how it affects her, and who knows what else. So everybody, thank you very much for tonight. We look forward to seeing you next week, and we will all talk to you guys later.
All right, folks.
Steve, Tom, Glenn.
Adios.